you gorgeous and sexy soul. Welcome to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn all about love, sex, and how to have the best relationships you possibly can. My name is Jami Lynn. I'm a marriage and family therapist. And what I want to share with you today is some things that you could do if you are wanting to have sex with your partner either more often or you're wanting to finally break the ice after going for a long period of time without having sex. And these are 4 little things that you could do daily that would help not only to increase the felt sense of connection between you and your partner, but also open you up to being more vulnerable with them, more safe around them, and all of that can lead to the potential for sexual encounters. So let's dig in. There's 4 different things. I'm going to move from the easiest to do to the more vulnerable, challenging to do. The very first one is being aware of how you communicate with your partner upon seeing them first thing or leaving. So these are the moments of separating and coming together. When you leave the house to go to work, when you come home from work, when you leave the house for anything really, to go on a walk with the dogs, to take a walk yourself, to go visit a friend for brunch, like whatever the thing is that you are doing. If you are with your partner and then you go away and then you come back, and this would also be true for people who are not living together, but it's easier for us to remember to do greetings and goodbyes when we don't live together because it's an obvious, like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, let me say hello. I won't see you in a while, let me say goodbye. But when we live together, it's a totally different thing. So the way that you enter and exit encounters with your partner really matters. And so taking a moment to look them in the eyes, to viscerally try and like feel their presence rather than them being just a background. They're in the kitchen, you're about to walk out the door, bye babe, kind of thing. Take a moment where you look at them, where you feel their presence, where you go up to them, maybe give them a hug or a kiss, or even just making the eye contact and saying, I love you, I hope you have a great day, I'll see you later. Or when you come home, taking a moment to really greet them before you do anything else. Like, sure, if you're carrying groceries, put the groceries down, but don't greet your pets before you greet your partner. Don't go and do something that's unnecessary, like, I don't know, changing your clothes, or I can't think of other things. Like pouring yourself a drink. Don't do those things before you communicate with the human you live with and you love. Take the time to go up to them and say, hey, how are you? How was your day? It's nice to see you. Making that effort of being really intentional about the way that you separate and come back together can completely transform your relationship. It's these little things that let another person know that you care about them, that you're thinking about them, that you want them to experience your care. And so that's the first one. Be aware of how you enter and exit time with your partner. The next thing is what I think of as a hug until you relax. Holding each other in an embrace, and there's a really specific way to do this. You would come up against each other without wrapping your arms around each other first, so that you're belly to belly, but you're not putting any weight on the other person. And then once you've got that stability, then wrapping your arms around each other. The reason that I say that's important is because if you move too fast, if you're not holding your own weight, one person could lean on the other a little bit more, and then it's harder to relax. And so first come together, get your belly to belly contact, and then wrap your arms around each other and hold each other until you feel a relaxation happen. You'll feel gut motility relax and release. You'll feel your shoulders relax. You'll feel your face relax. And you might even feel it in the other person. There could be an audible sigh that happens. It usually takes between I would say 20 seconds to a minute sometimes for people to really relax into, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm just holding my partner. I'm just taking in their holding. There are a number of interesting things that happen whenever we do this. One, when you put bellies next to each other, In a relaxed state, you are actually triggering gut motility, which is just the movement of your guts, which is a sign of relaxation and health, honestly. When we're anxious, when we're tight, whenever we're feeling rushed in the world, our gut is usually the first thing that tenses. Our muscles tense up too, but our gut is usually the first thing. We get less blood flow to the big organs in this area. We get less movement and digestion of food, which means less energy. And so belly to belly hugs is a great way to take care of your overall health. And it is a fabulous way to feel more connected to your partner. This is going to trigger what's called dorsal vagal system in your body. So it's the aspect of the vagus nerve. I'm pointing this way because the vagus nerve starts in the back and wraps down around your heart and lungs and your gut. The dorsal vagal in particular wraps around your gut, and it deals with rest and digestion. It deals with relaxation and soothing. And so pairing holding your partner with the experience of your body calming down is going to build in a felt sense of safety, a felt sense of I can trust this person, which all will help get you to a place where you could be sexual together. There's other things that are needed, of course, but safety is the number one thing. Like if you don't have safety in your relationship, if you don't feel close, connected, safe, relaxed around this person, sex is not going to happen for most of us. There's the few outliers who are into like angry sex and things like that, but they're really outliers based on my experience with couples. Like those are few and far between, the people who get really, really amped up and then have sex. At least in that state. If you come back down out of the amped up, sure, yeah, sex could happen then, but in a really high state, that's few people. Most people need a certain amount of safety, trust, relaxation, calm, and then playfulness comes online and sex can happen. The next thing that I'm going to suggest is called, it doesn't really have a name. It comes from some research that I think is fascinating, but I call it the 6-second kiss. There was some research where they actually had couples kiss for certain lengths of time. So it would be 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds every day. And they were monitoring which couples seemed to have the most sexual activity based on this experience of kissing. And there was a control group where they didn't ask them to kiss any amount of time. And they would just check in on how often are you having sex with the control group. But what they found in this research is that the optimal time to kiss your partner in order to promote sexual feelings is 6 seconds. And who knows, maybe new research will come out that will show something different, but I love this piece of research, it's fascinating. And so what you would do is make an agreement with your partner. So I talked to my last partner about this before we actually implemented it, because I don't want to just assume that they're going to be okay with me kissing them for 6 seconds every day in a planned sort of way, because inside of me it's planned. And so I talked to them about, hey, I want to do this. I read this in research. I just want to see what it would be like if we kiss for 6 seconds a day. I'm totally happy to initiate it. And I'll tell you, like, hey, can we make this a longer one? Those were my words to let my partner know that we were going to do this. And then you literally kiss for 6 seconds. And it could just be mouths touching for that whole time. My preference, the thing that I found was more exciting and pleasurable and just better all around, was to like have a little bit of movement. Actually kiss. Let your mouths move together for a full 6 seconds. And let me count it out because it might feel long. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. Literally kissing that whole time. And it doesn't need to lead anywhere. In the research, that wasn't the point. The point was just to have couples kiss for this amount of time and see what happens. And when they would do this practice, they found that couples not only reported more sexual satisfaction, but they were having sex more often. So a 6 second kiss, try it out. It is fun. Even if it feels awkward sometimes, I definitely recommend it. It is a wonderful practice. It is something you could do daily. It is something you could do multiple times a day. I personally did it daily and I really enjoyed it. And then the last one, this is the most vulnerable of the 4 possible things you could do to get towards being sexual together or having more sex, is eye gazing. Eye gazing is where you and your partner sustain eye contact. So you're looking at each other in the eyes, and you can work up to this, but I often recommend to people start with 2 minutes. If 2 minutes feels like an eternity to you, start with 1 minute. 2 minutes is where I start. Couples, after people have done this practice for a while, I suggest working up to 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time. I know from my own experience, I know from being with clients as they do this practice, 10 minutes is a long time. Start with 2, unless you've done it before, in which case go to 10. In eye gazing, what you're doing is you're sustaining eye contact. If at some point you need to close your eyes just to kind of compose yourself and come back, do it. That's not a problem. Try to not do that for too long, but take the time if you need it. And what you might find happens as you're looking at your partner, I usually sit about like knees touching, that distance apart. And as you look at each other, you're not talking. Try not to talk. Parts of you are going to want to in order to break tension. Don't do that. Keep the tension high. You can smile, you can laugh. You'll probably find that you want to smile and laugh. You can allow yourself to cry if tears come up, because that can happen. You might find yourself getting really angry. That is possible too. Sustaining eye contact could be really triggering for you. Or even just like having someone look at you that long could be really triggering. All of that is a practice in just almost mindfulness. Whatever happens inside of you, watch it, say hello, allow it to pass by. But what you're doing when you sustain eye contact like this with a person in that proximity of distance without talking, you're increasing tension, which is a good thing because tension is part of what's needed in order to be sexual. We call it sexual tension for a reason. Like, tension is part of what makes things hot between you and another person. So you're increasing tension, and you are also communicating to your brain that this is a person who it is safe to be connected with. We don't sustain eye contact with many people in this world. Like, just think about your normal day. You might make a flash of eye contact with people, and then other people you might even avoid eye contact with because you don't want to feel connected to them. And that's pretty typical, honestly. Either we're making just a teeny bit of eye contact or very little. Sustained eye contact is a really specific internal experience, which communicates to our brain, I want to look at this person. I want to be connected to this person. This person is important and matters to me. So you're bookmarking all of that whenever you do eye gazing. I know it sounds like a woo-woo practice, and maybe it is, but it is doing really specific things in your brain that will help you to feel more connected to your partner. So these are the 4 things. I hope you will try them. Leave me comments. Tell me how it goes. Tell me what you like. Tell me what's challenging. I hope you try them all, because all of them are beneficial. And all of them could be done daily. Eye gazing, because it's the most vulnerable, tense one, I would do it maybe weekly, but the others do it daily. So just a teeny recap: being aware of how you greet or leave interactions with your partner, especially if you're leaving the house. Trying a hug until you relax, kissing for 6 seconds, and eye gazing. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear about it. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel. If there's somebody in your world that you know could benefit from hearing this information, send this video to them, please. And I'll see you next time.